how do you see that Meta can prepare for the future where a large percentage of real content could be created or enhanced using AI? Do you see that as a threat to creators who are basically creating organic content, putting out their own personalities?
There'll be features people will use, but fundamental principles don't change. See, the principles of marketing or the principles, like even if I'm a creator and I want to reach my target audience, obviously I have to produce something that they like, it resonates with them, and they stay on it before swiping down and going to the next reel. So those principles will still remain timeless, irrespective of the tools. AI tools may come in. I would say, therefore, my thesis is that creators also will still have to be authentic, be an expert on what they're talking about, be relatable, be liked, and find their audiences.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Tech Pulse. And today we are understanding the very platform on what you're watching me. Well, we are talking to MD and country head for Meta India, Mr. Arun Srinivas. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely. We know we are all addicts to Instagram Reels, and today we are talking and diving deep into that platform itself. So looking forward to this conversation. We wanted to firstly understand that Instagram Reels is now something which is the term viral, what we used to know back in the day, and it is a very big feature for discoverability. People showcase their talent, but at the same time monetization remains inconsistent when you compare it to the competition and the platforms that we see outside. How does Meta plan to strengthen the creator earnings and build long-term sustainability for creators on the platform?
See, today if I look at creators on Instagram, we are home to the largest number of creators in this country by far. So most creators put up content on Instagram and they come from all kinds of cities and towns. So it's no longer something that, which may have started off 5 years ago as, let's say, largely metros, but today you have what we call micro nano creators as well, in terms of their presence on the platform. Secondly, India is actually the powerhouse of the creator talent that we have. So more than, I'd say, 1 and 2 pieces of content globally is put up by creators on Instagram. We have many tools which we have launched. So one feature that we have, or a product that we have, is called partnership ads. Basically where the business actually, I would say, deploys the creator asset and boosts it to reach more audiences. We have launched this product, and to strengthen creator discovery, we also have launched something called Instagram Creator Marketplace. Think of it as a library of creators where you can actually swipe and search instantly, saying creators in Tamil Nadu for beauty, living in less than 1 lakh towns. You'll have actually the all their assets as an advertiser. You are able to then get the handshakes going between advertisers and creators. We see that there's a lot of momentum between both these products. For example, more and more creators are joining the Instagram Creator Marketplace on a daily basis as we speak. We will continuously innovate, and our endeavor is to make sure that creators thrive on our platform, continue to put out content, and really put their content out not just for India but for the world.
Well, that's really encouraging, and I'm sure that this gives you more incentive to start making more and more content like we also do. At the same time, now when we see that a lot more people are wanting to be creators, initially they can be discouraged because numbers can sometimes be discouraging. Small following, and you're not getting the sort of reach that you are putting, the kind of effort you are putting into, and billions of reels are being uploaded every day. How is Meta ensuring that smaller and emerging creators are also given a fair chance, considering that already established creators do have a big chunk of audience?
See, today, as I mentioned, we have millions of creators on our platform. Obviously, you will understand that not everyone is established. They're at various stages of discovery and likability, and I'd say credibility and expertise basis their genre, right? Today, we see more and more micro and nano creators emerge on our platform. It wouldn't be true if you think the platform is only for large and macro creators, because that wouldn't be the story then. As I said, we see so many people signing up for things like this Instagram Creator Marketplace. It clearly tells you that they're able to understand the tools, not just put content, but also figure out saying, I have aspirations, to get monetized and I need to work with brands. So we see all of these trends on our platform. I think AI is playing a big role in making sure that the right content reaches the right user. So throughout, we've strengthened our algorithms where today the content that we all see on Instagram, more than 40% of that is AI recommended. It's not people that you used to, be friends with or follow like earlier. For example, let's take IPL, which is, almost concluding. There's so many cricketers, who have obviously taken the nation by storm. So many young cricketers. Earlier, if I just go back to the algorithm a few years ago, you have to sit and follow every one of them. Now you don't need to. So you'll actually, just by the algorithm knowing that you like cricket, it serves you reels of replays of, Vaibhav Suryavanshi six, let's say sixes rather in the last innings that he just played in the eliminator, or equally lots of other emerging players that have come through the tournament, right, from across teams. Same time, there's a lot of cricket creator content, which people are talking about, boosting, etc. So you get served those. So I think the algorithm is also becoming more and more evolved thanks to AI. So I think it's a huge opportunity for. It doesn't matter whether you're a big or a small creator, because you don't want to be served only the large ones. The platform truly is understanding the genre, dynamically curating it. So, for example, let's say once IPL ends, we all move to other interests.
Yes.
Instagram algorithm will immediately tune very quickly now, versus earlier where you potentially had only people you followed or were friends with, to now bring in your latest interest. So that again is a huge opportunity for creators in the next category. So let's say if I start looking at travel, I'll start getting a lot more travel creators. It need not be constrained by just the size of followers you have, etc. But let's say if I look at very specifically, if I'm looking for domestic travel, and if somebody is in the Northeast and there are creators actually talking about it, that's the that's the content I'll start getting more of. I think it's a huge opportunity. So I actually think AI is a boon. So my only message to the creators would be continue to make your content, just be relatable, be authentic, and see how you can really engage the user.
Wow. So persistence is the key. Do not get discouraged if you're not getting discovered. Of course, if you are continuously making content, your audience will find you.
Audiences will find you, as I said, because see, all of us lead a life which is very busy and has multitude of interests and time. So as we, I'd say, switch our preferences to what we want to consume, the algorithm will make sure you get discovered.
How do you see Facebook sitting right now in Meta's broader ecosystem, especially when it comes to content as well?
Yeah, what if I told you that Facebook Reels is as large as the second largest player, in terms of short form video in this country? Oh. So I think so. While Instagram Reels is obviously the single largest video platform in the country, Facebook is almost as large as the second place. Which the gap obviously between Instagram and the second largest short form video platform is over 15 percentage points. Today, more than 97% of Indians watch video on Meta platforms, and arguably most of them is short form at this point of time. And there's a big lead over, and I think the study also that corroborates this is that there's a big lead on short form by 15 percentage points over our nearest competitor, and almost 13 percentage points over television as well. So in some sense, we are living in an era where Indians love video. Indians has always loved video. We love to watch more than we read or write, and this, I think, now has put the power of what you consume literally in your hand. So in some sense, Reels is the new screen or the new TV or your personal entertainment, which is on the go. And so to us, it's no surprise that therefore, more than 60% of content that we put out on Facebook and Instagram that people love to watch is video. And Facebook again leads the way with Reels there. So Reels is the most watched surface on Facebook. Okay. So I think in some sense, depending on the preference, there are users that we see, and we all also, I guess, are a bit biased by the cities we live in and the lives we lead. But there are users who are soulless users, as we call them, on one of our platforms, which is Instagram. There could be soulless users on Facebook, and there are users who are dual users. So okay. People, use Facebook a lot, as you rightly said, for marketplace, watching content and video. And the other one is, of course, in terms of, again, being connected with what their friends, etc. up to. As Instagram becomes more a platform that is curating culture, I think Facebook still helps people keep in touch in terms of, what their friends are up to.
Okay. And just to get some more insights into this Facebook question that you mentioned, is there an age group also that is more active on Facebook, or
not
is it just
true?
Across?
I think it's across. See, today, when with the numbers that we have, we just spoke about, like even if I go back to the previous statistic where I said more than 97% of video that's watched in this country is on our platforms. Interestingly, in rural India, the gap that I just spoke about versus our nearest, short form video competitors, about 15 percentage points, it swells to as high as 27% in rural India. So even rural India is taking more to, meta short form video than even urban is at this point of time. So I would definitely say that this is the platform of choice. So there's really, whether it's across Gen Z, women, older audiences, younger audiences, we don't see major differences.
Okay. So if you're creating content, that is a very important insight, that you do not have to be just limited to posting on Instagram, because clearly there is a very active audience on Facebook as well. So you can, of course, share the same content, since there is a feature, of course, to share it on Facebook as well. So do that right away.
No, absolutely. I have definitely seen creators who have posted on both, obviously garner followers if that's their objective, or equally even get right reach, in the audiences that they serve.
Okay. Reels are driving a very strong product discovery as well. This has created a sort of a different market altogether. It has there is a breed of new specific businesses that are now creating pop-ups just so that they can promote their products on Instagram. You have led the entire revenue business as well here. If you can give us an insight into the fact that you see Instagram becoming a very active marketplace in the future.
See, we see businesses, literally start up on meta platforms. I think some of the largest listed D2C brands that have gone public as well in the stock market literally founded their business on Facebook and Instagram.
But currently they have to redirect themselves into, say, their website. Do you see them buying on Instagram itself?
See, I think today with the technologies that are there, as I said, we enable commerce. I think as we are a discovery platform, but our strength is that we enable commerce between, I would say, brands and users.
Okay.
And I think we'll stick to that. And our intent is also to try and see how can we make it friction free.
Okay.
So depending on the business's objective, I'll give you an example. If I take some of the brands that got listed recently that I spoke about, many of the D2C brands initially 10 years ago largely had a website. So some of the objectives that, when they set out to advertise on our platforms were really to say, I want discovery and it should lead to traffic on my website. Over time, traffic evolved to conversions. Because, initially you're also in a phase of discovery and awareness. You have to build the proposition before, somebody wants to try you and buy you. Some other businesses, for example, given that we serve not just, let's say, D2C brands, have an app as well. So in some cases, it's about an app download. And over time, people have also started using WhatsApp from Instagram or Facebook, right? Where they can click and chat and continue their conversation, which might result in commerce. So the way I would frame it is that I think we are here to certainly enable commerce. It could be for a D2C brand, it could be for a airline ticket, it could be equally for, let's say buying a new car or buying a new home. So some of them are lead-based businesses which will take longer time, and some of them will be based, the transaction could happen right then and there. And again, it is up to the business to choose whether, for example, they have a microsite, which sits on Instagram so that the process is friction-free. So I would say that we are absolutely committed to helping businesses drive their commerce objectives basis the way they deem fit, and the journey is obviously different for each user.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're an up and coming business, you have heard it from the man himself. Put out more and more content and of course products, and you will see the results. My last question for today, and we have to use this term AI. We know how active it is, and recently with the Meta announcements as well with NewsPark, this is now a well-bred product. Everyone is now into this game. People want to learn about AI as well. But there is also another downside when it comes to creators, that AI-generated content is very actively being posted by users on Instagram. How do you see that Meta can prepare for the future where a large percentage of real content could be created or enhanced using AI? Do you see that as a threat to creators who are basically creating organic content, putting out their own personalities? If you can give us an insight.
See, I think that definitely there will be a role AI will play. I'll give an example. I'll start by saying what all does it do today and what's our vision, right? So firstly, I think we are focused a lot, if I gaze into the future, firstly on personal superintelligence, which is like how can AI obviously help each of us, including you and me, really be more efficient in our lives every day, right? So that's one big focus area. The second is, of course, glasses, which is to make sure that as you wear wearables as well, you leverage AI and see what it helps you really, as I said, translate, do things that you couldn't do with the power of AI in those glasses. If I come very specifically to advertising, I think there's a host of AI solutions, right, or even content. So one is there is Gen AI. So where, for example, an advertiser or a small business, since you just asked, can actually put out a completely new creative literally in seconds, where it can obviously deliver a static or even video. I'm sure as the tools grow, may take a minute today, but it may get rendered in seconds as well, with the capabilities that it goes. Which obviously also comes back to content. So because as a business, for example, I might also put out content. Let's say if I'm selling a helmet or selling a bulb or whatever else, right? So I can always generate these. I think as far as what all it can do, I think of it, I'm a business or I'm a creator, and let's say I'm from Bengal and I only know Bengali and my audiences therefore are restricted. Today with AI, I can actually perfectly lip sync, dub this into 6 languages already. So right now, as we speak, for example, AI translations are already live, for creators on Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Kannada, Hindi, apart from Bengali, right, and English, of course. And equally, if they want to reach the globe, they can also do this in Spanish and Portuguese. So I think these are things that I think, there will be a big role that AI will play in, which will only enhance, I guess, your, a creator's reach or content reach. And equally, therefore, the probabilities of, click-throughs, even if it's a business or a creator. Having said that, I think there'll be features people will use, but fundamental principles don't change. See, the principles of marketing or the principles, like even if I'm a creator and I want to reach my target audience, obviously I have to produce something that they like, it resonates with them, and they stay on it before swiping down and going to the next reel. So clearly those principles don't change, saying, what's the hook? Why will, how am I communicating? Do they resonate with the way I say it? Am I authentic? Am I relatable? So those principles will still remain timeless, irrespective of the tools. AI tools may come in. So like I'm just saying, even if I go back to the era of AI now, or even the era, let's say, before AI came in, or even before short form video came in, I'm saying these principles are always there. As a business, I want to target my users. I have to communicate my message. I think the mediums have evolved and changed, but it does not mean the principles will change. I would say, therefore, my thesis is that creators also will still have to be authentic, be an expert on what they're talking about, be relatable, be liked, and find their audiences. I'm saying AI can be an enhancement in terms of how you communicate, what are the tools you use. Otherwise, the chances are that if like both of us start creating identical AI-like reels, you will not get any followers versus somebody else who's using that well, along with what they bring to the table.
Absolutely. So basically, come as you are and you will be welcome to the platform. You will find your audience. And of course, at the same time, even if you want to use AI, you can use it to supplement your own content, and you will see perhaps greater results because it is a tool to enhance your productivity. Thank you so much, Arun. It was a lovely conversation with you, and I hope to see you again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.